Shalom, family. This is Equis, and this is another installment of Equis Rants, where we're able to discuss in a free-form manner various things that we usually wouldn't be able to touch on the Black narrative. And today, I want to talk about self-righteousness within the conscious community, because I'm seeing more and more how arrogant people can be when they pick up two books, they read a book or two, and all of a sudden they have ascended to master Kai levels of knowledge. And they have, they feel like they know all the dark secrets of Egypt and the highest order of Masonic wisdom, just because they picked up a couple books and watched a couple videos. And I want to say, firstly, when it comes to being conscious, knowledge, yes, is good, but you can read a book about how to swim all day. That don't make you a swimmer. If somebody comes to me and they say, man, look, I read a book about how to swim. You know, I know I could break down to you the techniques of a backstroke, paddling my feet. And I know the water from top to bottom, how to float on my back, how to float upside down. Okay, cool, show me. And they don't get in that water. Hey, there's something wrong with that. But there's a lot of theories or theorists out here. People that want to theorize and philosophize all these different things and talk about all these different things they learned and never apply it. People want to talk about building. People want to talk about business. People want to talk about faith. People want to talk about diet, all these different things, and do not apply it to their life. And the conscious community is chock full of that. And these same people who do not apply these various things to their life will be up here on the internet, collecting a following of people and telling them that and making themselves seem to be over them in some way, shape, or form. Now, that's one thing down the Black narrative we try to instill in people's heads is we trying to figure this thing out just like y'all. You know, we might bring up a couple things for conversation's sake, but we ain't no authorities. We want to push free thinking. And we're in no way, shape, or form faultless or without fault. We are very much so human. And this topic was kind of sparked because I learned that you got vegans out here that are, not getting into or ending relationships because their partner's not eating vegan. When I found that out, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So you're gonna end the whole entire relationship because your partner's not eating vegan. And I don't mean, I'm not talking about just the general vegan. Oftentimes these are Black vegans within the quote unquote conscious space that will say, man, I can't be with somebody that's not alkaline. Their energies are just off. Their chakras are not aligned. And here's the funny thing about it. Because people are hypocrites. People are very much so hypocritical. And an example I'll give, because oftentimes you'll hear, let me clarify something. There's nothing wrong with being vegan. There's nothing wrong with being vegetarian. Matter of fact, I would love to incorporate more of a vegetarian lifestyle within my life. And even if you're vegan or vegetarian for moral reasons, fine. You don't want to kill animals. You don't want to eat the meat of an animal that was slaughtered. Okay, fine. But when it starts to become your religion, there's something wrong with that. When you start making a whole entire dogma behind how you eat, I think that's a little extreme. And I'll get into why something like, and this is just to illustrate how arrogance within the conscious community works, because this is a very good example. You'll have these various vegans that will talk about, I can't deal with somebody that eats meat because, my body is my temple. Your temple, they talk about the body being a temple. And these same vegans will smoke weed, smoke cigarettes, drink, go out clubbing, sleep around, do all these different things that destroy the body, that destroy the temple. So my point with that is, if you're gonna be a monkey, I invite you to be a gorilla. That's always been my thing about these various things. If you want to live a certain way, okay, cool, but be about it. Be all the way about it. You can't. Health is not just restricted to what you eat. Now, what you eat is a very large portion of it, but that's not all, because you also have things like stressors. If you eat well and are stressed to the point where you got 10 hairs falling out your head a second, then you're not going to be that healthy. If you eat well but you smoke like a chimney, I don't think you're going to be that healthy. If you eat well and you're drinking like a fish, or you're out giving your body away to all these different people and catching diseases and exposing yourself to whatever they got going on, that's not very healthy, and you're not respecting your temple. So if you're gonna be, if you're gonna go as far as to end or not want to be in a relationship due to your eating habits, then you better come with your A game when it comes to your lifestyle, and you better not be caught slipping, because and that's really what I want to hone in on, is we all are human. Just because you have reached a certain point of understanding, of having knowledge of your body, or having knowledge within a certain faith that you practice, or having knowledge in Black history or the Black struggle, that doesn't make you any better than somebody that knows absolutely nothing on it. And this is one issue that I have with people that are self-righteous within these different spaces, be it the dietary space, or the faith-based space, or the historians, or what have you. Is you see somebody that might not know what you know, and instead of taking them under your wing and teaching them and trying to truly have a conversation on a human level, not to be right, not to say I told you so, not to seem like you're some sort of sage, for the simple fact that this is going to help them. When you don't allow yourself to be a teacher unto them, what are you doing? How much do you really believe in what you're preaching? If you're not going to give that knowledge freely and allow people to do with it what they want. Because oftentimes you got people, I mean, even within the Hebrew Israelite faith, you got people that will go out and have these conversations with different people about the word and about the scripture and about the faith. And they think because somebody doesn't take hold to it immediately, or somebody has questions for them or what have you, that, oh, this person, they're not worth saving, wheat and the tares, the parable of the sower, all these things people like to bring up. But it's like, yo, you was right there with them at one point. I always give this example, when I talk to people about how quickly somebody's supposed to receive something. If I get a seed and I go in the ground, I till the ground, I put the seed in the ground, I water it, give it a little sun, and I go inside, and I wake up in the morning and there's a big old tree outside my room. What you think I'm gonna think? I'm gonna be like, oh hell no, man! Somebody I'm calling the lumberjack. Somebody get this accursed tree from out my midst. But people don't think like that. You're planting a seed. You're allowing somebody bit by bit to have their mindset change, because it takes a lot to change somebody's mind. That 5-inch war between your two ears is a very powerful thing. Somebody's mindset is who they are. It's connected to their ego. It's connected to their identity. It's connected to their value system. It's connected to a lot of things. You're not just going to bring up a good point and completely shift somebody's life in a matter of a few minutes, in a matter of a couple conversations. They got to sit with that. They got to do their own research on it. They've got to meditate on it. There's a lot of things that come with that you got to give people time. The same way that you were allowed time to get to it, you got to give them people time. You can't tell me you vegan now, or you're a Hebrew Israelite now, or you're you're just anywhere within the Black conscious space now, and a few years ago you wasn't practicing none of that, and yes, everybody's just supposed to get it off rip. Just like you didn't even get it off rip. You had to take your time with things. You had to start slowly incorporating and changing your diet. You didn't do it cold turkey. None of y'all did, or very few of y'all really did these things cold turkey. You got to be patient. You can't be self-righteous, because when you become self-righteous, you become that toxic individual that you talk about. You become the same people that you're dogging on. Oh, these people have horrible energy. Oh, these people are this, that, and the third. You become just like them, if not worse, because you're supposed to know better, right? You think you know better. If you know better, teach. Each one teach one. That's what we need more of in the Black community. I'm tired of people running around with their high horse, spitting on everybody underneath them. Get off your high horse. Come walk amongst the commoners and teach. Teach. Be a teacher. If you believe in so much, teach it, and don't teach it because and don't be upset when somebody doesn't take your opinion immediately. Don't teach because you want to be right, or you just want to tell somebody something. Don't do it for your ego. Do it for the cause you believe in. Because if you're doing it for your ego, you ain't for the cause. And that's all I want to say for today.